Hey squad, welcome back. Today we're going to be producing in color once again, and we're going to be cooking up one of those lazy R&B grooves that just makes you want to nod your head. Now remember, if you're feeling my vibe, if you're feeling what I'm doing, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. Also, if you're interested in one-to-one tuition or a consultation, check out my website at www.musictechtraining.com/tuition. Anyway, it's that time, so let's get into it. Okay, so the approach we're taking today, again, is real simple. I'm going to show you the chord progression. So if you want to mess with the chords yourself, at least you'll have a blueprint as to the foundation of what I'm going to be playing. In terms of instrumentation, we're going to keep it pretty organic. We're going to go with electric bass, electric guitar, a Fender Rhodes keyboard sound, some drums, some horns, and a Hammond organ. So in terms of tempo, we're going to be operating at 75 BPM. Okay, so getting the drum groove right for this piece is absolutely crucial, and the sound selection is also really important. So we're going to go with these sounds. Now these drum samples are taken from my Body Blows sample pack, which you can download right now. The first thing I'm going to do is put down a really simple hi-hat pattern. I'll then lay down the kick and snare. I'll do some tidying up and then move to the next section. Okay, I'm pressing Q on the keyboard, and now this hi-hat part has been quantized. I'm definitely going to go back in and do some editing to this, but let's just get all of the drums down, and then I'll mess it up a little bit just to give it a human feel. Now it's time for the kick and snare. Okay, so to keep the length of the video down, what I've done is just gone in and just moved some of these drum hits just slightly, some a little bit late, some a little bit early, just to give it that kind of human feel. I've also used the key command, command 9, and then gone for humanization right here. And I was able to add the type of humanization I want to give me the final drum groove, which I then bounce down, and this is the groove right here as a single audio file. Okay, so the next element I'm going to add is the chord progression, and I'm going to be using Logic's native electric piano, and this is going to be an emulation of the Fender Rhodes Suitcase Mark IV. I've just done a little bit of tweaking of the controls to give me the sound I'm looking for, so let's just put this down real quick. Okay, so we've got the keys down, and we're going to start layering things up now by adding additional instruments. Now, don't forget, this is meant to be a lazy kind of vibe, and we haven't put the laziness in yet. This is still pretty much falling on the pulse. The keys aren't going to be quantized, so they're going to maintain the human feel, but we're going to add some real laziness to this later on. So just stick with me. Another very important element I'm going to put down now, and that's the bass guitar. Now, as I've shown you in previous videos, I find some of Logic's electric bass plugins really cool, and that's what I'm going to use today for my bass guitar. I'm direct injecting my bass straight into the audio interface, and I'm going to use the onboard Logic native plugins. So in terms of bass effects at the moment, all I've got going on is modern dynamic amplifier with a Neumann U87 mic emulation. I've also got a compressor on the channel strip, and this right here is an emulation of the vintage Uri 1176 compressor. I'm not really going to add too much more to it. Let's just get the bass line down and continue to build this groove. Okay, so we've got the bass line down and I'm real happy with that. At this stage, I'm going to start to do my color coding, which is really important to me because I'm quite a visual person and I like to have things pretty ordered in a particular way. So I'm going to hold down the Option or Alt key on my keyboard and press letter C on the keyboard. And now I'm just going to pull up the color palette, and I like my keys generally to be colored yellow. My bass is purple, and we're going to put down the guitar next. And I'm using this guitar preset, Chicken Pickin'. Don't forget the laziness has not yet been added. Right here on the channel strip, I've got the Chicken Pickin' preset, and I'm just going to run with it as it is. Let me put down the guitar. Okay, great. We've got the fundamental elements of this groove down. The drums, the bass, the electric piano, and the guitar. We're going to add some more bits afterwards, but right now is where we're going to start adding that laziness I was talking about. So this is what you do. First of all, you come to the bass line, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add one increment of fade in and one increment of fade out. So we've got a nice fade at the end and we don't get any glitching when we loop this bass line, okay, or repeat the region. The next thing we're going to do is come over here to delay. And now I'm going to add 100 milliseconds of delay to this bass. Now we're going to do the same for the guitar. Once again, we're just going to add one increment of fade here. On the guitar, however, I'm going to add 133.3 milliseconds. So they're both going to be delayed, but at slightly different timings. We are also going to do exactly the same thing to the keys. Let's try 133 milliseconds for the keys as well. Now let's have a listen to this. Okay, so that's really sounding cool. Nice and laid back, really laid back. You can, of course, choose different timings depending on how lazy you want this to be. But for now, I'm pretty happy with that. Remember, the drums have got to be constant. Sometimes what you might want to do is if you've got the drums as individual stems, you might want to delay the snare drum and the hi-hat, but always make sure the kick is on point. We're keeping the drums pretty straight today, but we're delaying the other parts to give us that laziness. Let's check it out one more time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go away, add some more elements to this, and then I'll show you what I've added individually. I'll then do a quick mix and then we'll play out. Okay, we're here. So I've added the jazz fusion organ to this piece on these two tracks right here, just really short sections. I'll solo these in a second. I've also added my French horns, which I absolutely love. And also I've added this orchestra brass ensemble, which you can find, again, it's in Logic. What you need to do, you do need to dig down to find this sound. It's under Legacy. And if you dig down into the Jam Pack Symphony Orchestra, then go down to horns and then down to the orchestra brass ensemble. There are some fantastic horns in Logic. You just need to dig down and find them. And again, what I've done with these regions is over here in the region inspector, you'll see there's a delay on these horns right here, as well as this organ part. So let me just play you a little section. Now, once I play this all together, it will all make sense. Remember, the technique is real simple. All you need to do, keep the kick drum constantly on the pulse. Then you can choose how much delay you want to add to the different elements. Mix it up a little bit, kind of like what I did today. I had some elements delayed at 133 milliseconds. Others were at 100 milliseconds, and they still worked really well together. I'm definitely going to finish this track and release it as a single on Spotify so soon. And once it's out, I'll make sure to post on social media and I'll put a link in the description. Now, I hope you found value in this. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. So let's play out with this and I'll be back with more real soon. I'm Dr. Deuce. Peace.